Mr. President, your stimulus is sure to bust. It's just a socialistic scheme. The only thing it will do is kill the American dream.
My name is Frantz Kebreau. I am the National Director for the NAACPC. Okay. All right. Gentlemen, our president is, his name is Lloyd Marcus. He wrote the Tea Party anthem. And he sings the Tea Party anthem on the Tea Party Express. I don't know if you've ever seen him or met him, but Lloyd Marcus is our president. And this past January, he asked me to come and be their national director. And so I went up to DeLand, Florida, sat down with these gentlemen. They said, we'd like for you to be our national director. And I said, no. They said, why not? I said, I don't like your name. The name of the organization was the National Association for the Advancement of Conservative People of Color. And I said, no, thank you. I don't want the job. They said, well, what do you want? I said, do me this favor. Add 4 letters to the name. Change the name of the organization to the National Association for the Advancement of Conservative People of All Colors, and I'll take the job, and they did it. The mission of our organization is to end identity politics in America forever. I am the progressive's worst nightmare, because I was a liberal Democrat who became a conservative Republican. They designed a system by which we live in today, a paradigm where we think a particular way. I'll give you an example of this. Please raise your hand if you are a minority. Raise your hand. Okay. Got a lot of people raising their hands, all right? Let me ask you, those that raised your hands, let me ask you. For women, for instance, women fight for equal pay for equal work. Equal pay for equal work. Do they demand it because they're minorities, or do they demand it because they are specifically not minorities? Do they demand it because they're equal to everybody else? Of course, because they're equal. So then why, pray tell, do you consider yourself still a minority? Russ told you I was in the Navy. I have over 300 carrier landings. I was an instructor pilot who trained over 200 pilots how to land on aircraft carriers. When I left the Navy, I was a lieutenant commander, an 04 in the military when I left. I fly airplanes for United Airlines, one of the most sophisticated airplanes in the world, called the Airbus 320, the same one that landed in the Hudson. And yet, landed, right? And yet, I didn't know this information. And I became curious. I said, how could I not know this information? I felt like I was a pretty educated guy. So it made me go research some more, and to dig, and to dig, and to dig. And after I dug up, it's supposed to be different groups of people. We're supposed to be one nation under God. Indivisible. That's the way it's supposed to be. They create a paradigm for us to live in. And their paradigm created, for me, what's called, person of color, what's called the liberal plantation, which I'm supposed to remain on. I'll explain it in a second. The other paradigm is for people that are white. And for them to stay in their place, they created what I called white guilt and political correctness. And that's how they keep you guys where you're supposed to be. And they're completely separate. On the liberal plantation, and that's why our educational system not teaching us things. Let me share something else with you. In the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson wrote, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. That they're endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And in 1776, July 4th, I asked the question, was it true? It was true in principle, but not in practice. But we were fortunate enough that he put that in the Declaration of Independence, because that's what the abolitionists used in order to help free the slaves. The Founding Fathers knew, brilliant men, absolutely brilliant men, they knew that they could not end slavery in their time, yet they pushed for it. But they knew that at some point in the future, there would be a set of people that would come along and say, this country cannot be half slave and half free. And in 1854, a political party was formed specifically to do that. At the end of the Civil War in 1865, the 13th Amendment was passed. And every person of color needs to know the 13th Amendment, because it abolished slavery in the United States of America forever. But there was a vote count for that in Congress. And the vote count to abolish slavery in America, the vote count to abolish slavery in America, was 100%. You are the last best hope for the world. Because the rest of the world is looking to you guys, the rest of the world is looking to the United States of America to make sure that we remain a free country. It's not as though people come to the United States of America and say they leave a big government in order to come into the United States to another big government. That's not what they want. They leave their country. So if we are to be that shining city on the hill, if we are to be the beacon of hope for the entire world, you must continue to do what you're doing. Do not take your foot off the gas pedal. Take it to November and vote them out. Take it to 2012 and vote them out, vote them out, and vote them out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Frantz. I'm telling you, this was short for him. If you need an hour of his time,
So when they call you a racist, cause you disagree, it's just another of their dirty tricks to silence you and me. I believe in the Constitution.